Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Prescott. I'm here at PsychSync, Sync Psychology, and today we are going to at least try to wrap up Chapter 11, Personality, from the OpenStax Online Psychology 2E textbook. In the last part, we went through, not that far, we went through the different perspectives, such as behavioral, social cognitive, we did reciprocal determinism, went through different psychologists, researchers, their ideas for origins of personality, how and why we have personality, how we determine all that stuff. So if you want to, fill in on that, then please go check out that video. So last time we left off right here, the 5-factor model. So in the 5-factor model, each person has 5 traits known as the Big 5 personality traits. Each trait is scored on a continuum from high to low, and the first letter of each trait spells the mnemonic ocean. So, ocean, or openness to experience, conscientiousness, it's hard for me to say that word, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So, going down the mnemonic, and remember, I think it was in the last chapter we talked about learning and how helpful mnemonics are for memorizing this kind of stuff. So if you need to memorize the 5-factor model, remember ocean, first letter of each word or each trait, because openness to experience is one word. So starting off, O, openness, imaginations, feelings, actions, ideas. If you have a low score in this, you are practical, conventional, you prefer routine. If you have a high score, you're curious with a wide range of interests and you're independent. Next, we have C, conscientiousness. It's competence, self-discipline, thoughtfulness. You're goal-driven. Low score is impulsive, careless, disorganized. High score is hardworking, dependable, and organized. Next, we have E, extroversion. You have sociability, your assertiveness, and emotional expression. Low score, you're quiet, reserved, withdrawn. And high score, outgoing, warm, you seek adventure. Next, you have A, agreeableness, so you're cooperative, trustworthy, and good-natured. If you have a low score, you are critical, unsupportive, or uncooperative, and suspicious. And then if you have a high score, you are helpful, trusting, and empathetic. And finally, N, neuroticism, which is tendency toward unstable emotions. Low score, you are calm, even-tempered, and secure. But if you're a high score, you have anxious, you're unhappy, and prone to negative emotions. So that is the 5-factor model. Next, we have the Hexagon model. So the Hexagon traits, here we have, again, it's another mnemonic. So first trait, honesty-humility. Example aspects of that trait is sincerity, modesty, and faithfulness. Emotionality, aspects of that are sentimentality, anxiety, and sensitivity. Then you have extroversion. Example aspects include sociability, talkativeness, and boldness. Next trait is agreeableness. Some example traits, or examples of the trait, are patience, tolerance, and gentleness. Then you have conscientiousness. I said it wrong again. Conscientiousness. There you go. Example aspects include organization, thoroughness, and precision. And finally, so many traits. We have openness, and example aspects of that trait are creativity, inquisitiveness, and innovativeness. Those are fun words to say, like that. Anyways, so cultural understandings of personality. Culture is one of the most important environmental factors that influences personality. Now, culture are beliefs, customs, art, and traditions of a particular society. So, question, are personality traits the same across cultures or are there variations? And the answer is there are both universal and culture-specific aspects that account for variation in personalities. Examples, Asian cultures are more collectivist and tend to be less extroverted. Central and South American cultures tend to score higher on openness to experience, whereas Europeans tend to score higher on neuroticism, which isn't good because you remember from the 5-factor model, that has a tendency toward unstable emotions. So it's not good that all of Europe has a tendency for that, apparently. All right. Next, you have regional differences. So researchers found 3 distinct regional personality clusters in the United States. People tend to be friendly and conventional in the upper Midwest and deep South. So here you can see cluster 1. It's kind of hard for me to see it, but it's the solid blue. So these highlighted states, or collected states, they're friendly and conventional. relaxed, emotionally stable, and creative in the West. Wait 1 second, let me back up there. People tend to be friendly and conventional in the upper Midwest and deep South, relaxed, emotionally stable, and creative in the West, so out here, and then stressed, irritable, and depressed in the Northeast, so up here in the New York, Washington, D.C. area. So one explanation for this is selective migration. People choose to move to places that are compatible with their personality and needs. So maybe that's why in the upper Midwest and deep South, people tend to be more relaxed and emotionally stable. Next, we have individualist versus collectivist cultures. Now, individualist, remember that's what it referred to as Asian cultures leaning more towards. They value independence, competition, and personal achievement. Mainly Western nations such as the US, England, and Australia, and people display more personally oriented personality traits. Oh wait, no, forgive me, that wasn't what I meant. Asian cultures, collectivist. I got it twisted there. I was like, wait a second, that's not right. So yeah, people display more personally oriented personality traits. Then we have collectivist cultures, where they value social harmony, respectfulness, and group needs over their own individual needs. This includes areas that have collectivist cultures include Asia, Africa, and South America, and people display more socially oriented personality traits. Next, we have self-report inventories. So personality testing is often used to screen applicants for employment and job training, in criminal cases and custody battles, and to assess psychological disorders. Now, self-report inventories is an objective test to assess personality. They often use multiple choice items or numbered scales, like Likert scales. Now, the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, or the MMPI, I've actually taken that before, it's very long, is one of the most widely used personality inventories, originally developed to assist in diagnosing psychological disorders. And the newest version, the MMPI R2 or 2RF, has 338 questions and is scored on 10 scales: hypochondriasis, depression, hysteria, psychopathic deviance, masculinity versus femininity, paranoia, and psychasthenia, or obsessive compulsive qualities, schizophrenia, hypomania, and social introversion. So Likert scales, this is like an example of one. If you've ever taken a survey, you're probably familiar with Likert type scale questions. Most personality inventories employ these types of response scales. So they will ask you a question, I'm easygoing, and then you indicate whether you strongly disagree or strongly agree, or no opinions, somewhat disagree, somewhat agree. I've seen these a million times. On MMPI, these true-false questions resemble the kinds of questions you would find on the MMPI. So, I like gardening magazines. You choose true or false. I'm unhappy with my sex life. True or false. So it's less of a variation in your answer choices. You only have true or false. Now, projective testing, projective testing relies on projection, which is a defense mechanism, if you remember from earlier in this chapter, to assess unconscious processes. So they use ambiguous cards are shown to an individual who is asked to tell a story, interpret an image, or complete a sentence. Now, an individual will project feelings, impulses, and desires onto the cards. So, for example, this one's pretty famous with the Rorschach Inkblot test. Individual interprets a series of symmetrical Inkblot cards, revealing unconscious feelings and struggles. So here would be an example of a Rorschach Inkblot. Then you have the thematic apperception test, or the TAT. Individual tells a story about 8 to 12 ambiguous cards, giving insight into their social world, revealing hopes, fears, interests, and goals. Then you have the Rotter Incomplete Sentence Blank, or the RISB. An individual is asked to complete 40 incomplete sentences as quickly as possible to reveal desires, fears, and struggles. So, for example, a Rotter Incomplete Sentence Blank: I feel blank. I regret blank. At home blank. My mother blank. These incomplete sentences resemble the types of questions on the RISB. How would you complete these sentences? You can think to yourself and maybe type a quick comment, these 5 example problems, and again, want to keep it to yourself. The point is not just to fill out the sentence, it's also to do it in a time limit to try and, reveal your true emotions and thoughts. So, maybe run this by yourself, maybe you can learn a bit about yourself. But anyways, that concludes chapter 11. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you, enjoyed the videos. And I will hopefully see you for the next chapter. Again, my name is Prescott. I'm here at Psych Synced, Succinct Psychology. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.